I am very, very excited to get to see all of you here today. We have been having a very, very busy day up at my castle in my kingdom, so it's very nice to take a break and get to meet some new friends. That being said, I would love to hear from you. I would love to answer any questions you have about maybe what it's like to live here or have 3 crazy brothers. Or to turn your mom into a bear. So if you'd like to send me any questions, feel free to do so. I'll be answering them throughout the video. Also, if you'd like to say hello to myself or any of my friends, then please go ahead and send that along as well. In the meantime, I would like to apologize for being a little bit late. My mom always did say that I wasn't very princessly, so I'm trying to work on it though. And I will say that I'm very, very excited that I get to be here. I would like to give a big thanks to the Princess Party Company. They're actually the way that I'm able to get in contact with all of you. So if you would like to see me or any of my friends, go ahead, give them a follow. I know we're doing a lot of story times and things like that throughout the days as well. And it is so much fun to get to make new friends. So today I have for all of you a story. So I hope you all like stories. And this one in particular is near and dear to my heart. Now, I think we all know that every good story starts a very certain way. Alright? There are 4 special words, right? Does anyone know what they are? Once upon a time. So once upon a time, in my kingdom, so far away, I was playing with my younger brothers. Now, I have 3 younger brothers, and they are absolute terrors. They're very adventurous and very rambunctious, and they were making fun of me. I'm sure your siblings do that as well, and I was laughing at them. You see, Hans, Hubert, and Hamish, my 3 little brothers, thought that surely they could climb the Crone's Tooth, which, if you don't know, is the absolute tallest mountain in my entire kingdom. It's very steep and very dangerous, and I was laughing at them, saying that I was the only person in the kingdom who could possibly climb the Crone's Tooth. They said, "No, we'll show you." So, my 3 little brothers took off on their own out into the forest. They went to go and find the Crone's Tooth. Now, they're very little. They don't really climb very well, and they started to climb the Crone's Tooth. Now, this is tall. This is hundreds of meters tall, and as you can see, they had to stand on top of each other in order to get any kind of grip going. Now, all was fine and well until the 2 stepped away, and all of a sudden the rocks underneath Hamish's foot slipped out from underneath him, and he was left dangling by his fingertips high off the ground. Now that's very dangerous, isn't it? We don't want to have that happen. So thankfully, my brothers knew exactly what to do. They ran all the way back to the castle to come and find me, and they let me know that they had been climbing the Crone's Tooth. I told them I couldn't believe that they had actually done it. I thought for sure they'd been kidding, and that they would never attempt something as dangerous as that. But I did know that we had no time to lose. So I went to the stables and I got my horse. Now, my horse's name is Angus, and he is very, very fast and very reliable. So I saddled him up, which took a little bit of time because I was very nervous about my brother, and we all hopped on. We ran as fast as we possibly could back through the woods, trying to get to the Crone's Tooth. Now, the forest here is very dense, so there's a lot of underbrush and rocks and leaves and branches to jump over, so we have to be very, very careful, right? We don't want to lose any time by falling. Now, when we got back to the Crone's Tooth, it was just in time. You see, Hamish had been holding on very, very well, but he was starting to lose his grip. Now, that's when I noticed something very peculiar. Do you see these 3 little blue lights up here? Those are what are called will-o'-the-wisps. Now, wisps are very mischievous. As many of you might remember, I ran into them into the woods, and they lead you to your heart's greatest desires. For Hamish, right now, it was the top of the Crone's Tooth. But the other thing that wisps are very good at is pranking people. They love to play jokes and make mischief. So they were the ones that had loosened the rocks under Hamish's feet to make him fall, thinking it would be funny. So I knew that we had to do something a little bit different here. So I asked my brothers to please go and get a giant pile of leaves, find all the leaves that they could possibly find, and bring them back here. And we built up a very large stack underneath Hamish. Now, the next thing I did is I took my bow and I took my arrows and I shot an arrow with a rope tied to it over the branch of a tree. Now, I tied the other end of it around my waist, and I asked Angus to put the other end in his mouth and to run as fast as he could in the opposite direction, so that way I could be taller. Now, as he started to pull, the branch started to creak. We weren't entirely sure that it was going to hold my weight. So he went slower and slower in an attempt to pull me up without actually breaking the branch. Now, thankfully, the tree was sturdy enough and I was able to get up to Hamish. Now, the wisps were flying around. They were trying to pull my hair and pull his hair and make him fall. But I was able to grab him just in time, just as he was losing his grip. And Angus backed up and lowered us safely to the ground. I hugged my brothers. I love them dearly, even though they can sometimes be a bit of trouble. And they promised that they would never try to climb the crone's tooth again, because they realized how dangerous it was. And we all lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you all enjoyed that little story. It's just one of the many that my brothers get up to, many of the crazy antics. Now, I do see that I have a few friends who have wanted to say hello. So to Miss Aubrey, Abigail, and let's see, it looks like Owen, there we go. Hello. I hope you're all doing a wonderful, wonderful day and having a lot of fun and not too much mischief, right? And then Miss Kaylina. Hello. Oh my goodness, that's so sweet. It's so nice to see you. I have one of my friends here and she was mentioning that you really love me. Well, I want to say I love you too. I hope you're all having fun today. Now, I do have another activity for all of us to do together. Now, as many of you know, a while ago, I turned my mum into a bear by accident. And then I turned my brothers into bears, also by accident. So, bears are very close to my family. In fact, my dad lost his leg to one when I was little. So, I thought it might be fun if we all drew some bears. Alright? So, what you're going to need for this is pen, pencil, paper. If you don't have a pencil or a pen, any kind of writing implement will do. And then some paper. Now, I'm going to be using this dark pen because it'll show up better for all of you to see. So while you get your materials, I would like to say hello to Miss Piper. It's a lovely name. Now, I'm very glad you're able to join in. Now, I don't know if you all know my friend, Rapunzel, but one of her favourite things in the whole wide world is to draw and to paint all over her castle walls. So she's actually been teaching myself how to draw. So today I'm going to try and teach you all how to draw some bears. So once you have your paper and your pen, so paper and pen, we're going to start with the very first part of the bear, which is going to be the head. Right? Now we're not going to draw anything terribly ferocious because we don't want to scare anyone, right? So we're going to start with the head of the bear. Now, bear's head is sort of a circle shape. So, just take your pen and about halfway up the paper, we're going to draw a great big circle for the head of a bear. Mine's a little lopsided, but it looks something like this. So once you have the head, of course we need a body, right? You can't not have a body on a bear. So we're going to draw sort of a teardrop shape underneath the head to make the body. You can make it as skinny or as large as you'd like. So there's my bear's body. It's a little bit of a funny shape, but so are bears, right? Now, let's see. The next thing that we need for a bear is big paws, right? They have very large paws, which are good for climbing trees, getting honey and berries and all sorts of good things. So we're going to draw some little oval shapes off to the side as paws. And then we can draw 2 down at the bottom for its legs too. So something kind of like this. I'm still working on my drawing skills. Rapunzel is a very good teacher though. So the next thing we need, let's see, what do bears have? They have ears, nice big ears. So let's draw 2 big ears right on the top of its head. And inside you can draw the little open space for them to here. There we go, so we've got some ears on our bear. Now, it also is going to need a nose. So the bear's nose, there's 2 parts. There's the big snout part, and then there's the tiny little nose part that actually does the smelling at the tip of it. So first we're going to draw a medium-sized circle in the middle of the bear's face. And then we're going to draw a much smaller circle in the middle of that medium circle. So kind of like that. And then, of course, bears need eyes. You can make them big, you can make them little, you can make them angry, scary bear eyes. I'm just going to do some nice happy eyes for my bear. And let's see. The last thing I think it needs is going to be a tail. Now, bears don't have very long tails, do they? They have teeny tiny little tails. They're very cute when you see them up close. But you don't want to get too close to a bear, right? You never know what they could do. They could be mean bears, and we don't like that. So let's give our bear a tiny little tail. And voila, there you have it, a beard. I love drawing bears. For the most part, I do a lot of tapestry design, and I do a lot of weaving and things like that, but drawing is one of my new favorite things. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did draw a bear along with us, I would love to see it, so please feel free to tag us in it so that way I could see your bear drawings, because I do love art and sharing it with friends. Now, I have a few more people that I would like to say hello to. So, Miss Gigi, hello, hi, how are you? Devoiri, oh, that's a beautiful name. Let's see, who else do I have? Oh, Miss Kalina, you said you're drawing a bear too. Oh, good, I want to see it, all right? And Muncie, lovely to meet all of you. You all have such beautiful names. Now, let's see, do I have a few questions?
While they're asking you questions, I have some questions for you, Merida. Can I ask you some questions?
Oh, of course.
How fast is Angus?
Angus is incredibly fast. Angus can run, I want to say faster than the wind, but nobody would actually believe me for that. But to get from my castle to the Crone's Tooth, which is several miles, probably only takes 5 minutes? 10 minutes? Not very long at all.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say he's fast, he's very fast.
He sounds very fast. I was wondering how many arrows you shoot per day.
How many arrows do I shoot per day? Well, it sort of depends. So some days I do a lot of practice and I just go out into the woods for hours and I ride with Angus and we shoot and try different tricks and things like that and accuracy. So then it would probably be anywhere from 50 to 100, but I have only a certain amount, so I have to recollect them. So part of the game is you have to find the arrow after you already shot it, which is a little bit tricky. So I have about, I think, 12 or 13 of them, and every once in a while I lose one, but I just recollect and then reshoot.
Wow. And were you born being really good at shooting arrows, or did you have to learn it?
So when I was very little, my father gave me my very first bow, and I had to learn how to shoot with it. So I was like 2 years old. And so I had to learn how to aim, I had to learn how to pull back. So I wasn't very good when I got started, but it was one of my favorite things. And so I would do it every single day, all the time. That's all I wanted to do. I'd spend the whole day out and I'd come home and plunk it down on the dinner table and my mom would say, Merida, take your weapons off the table. And I would say, Mom, please, I'm just going to go back out again after dinner. So,
Oh my goodness. Well, some of our friends have questions for you. Somebody asks, what's your favorite thing to do?
my favourite thing to do is by far archery and exploring the forest with Angus, going on adventures, things like that.
And somebody asked, does Angus have any horse friends?
He does. So he doesn't spend a whole lot of time with his horse friends. He, for the most part, spends time with me. But we do have a few other friends that live in the stables. Also, when Rapunzel comes into town to help me with my artwork, she brings Maximus, and they get to go out and play. If I do visit any of my other friends with horses, like Belle and Philippe, they like to get together and they'll run through the fields for hours.
Yay, I think that's all the questions they have for you, Merida.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you guys so much for playing with me. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Now, I will say that if any of you have any last-minute questions, go ahead, send them in. I still have a little bit of time. I promised Angus I would take him on a ride later today, but I have a little bit of time before he gets too cranky. So thank you for spending this very magical day with me. I know that a lot of you are friends with my friends, so if you'd ever like to speak to any of the other princesses, if you'd like to speak with me, I'd be more than happy to do that. You can visit the princesspartycompany.com website, and then they'll be able to get you set up and in contact with me, because that's the best way to reach me. Now, I do also have something very important that I would like to say. As many of you know, growing up, I did not want to be a princess, right? I wanted to run through the forest and play with my bows and arrows and do everything that I could possibly do that wasn't girly and princess-like. But I learned that being a princess isn't necessarily about doing curtsies or having balls or drinking tea. It's about being brave and being true to what's inside of you. And that's really hard to remember to do sometimes, but it's very, very important. So I just wanted to say that I know sometimes things can get scary or things can be strange and different, but if you continue to have that courage, if you continue to believe in yourself and know who you are deep down inside and be true to all that is, then you can make truly wonderful, magical things happen every day. Also,